Show. Now time to catch up with the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, before they jump back into league play this afternoon against St. Francis. The Trojans winners of 5 in a row after defeating Judson by 4 on Wednesday. Let's go back to Wednesday night. You guys come back from the Christmas break, get a nice little push there towards the end against a good Judson team. You pick up your 5th win. What impressed you most about your team, particularly down the stretch when that game could have gotten away from you?
Yeah, I thought Judson, I told you the other day, I thought Judson really played well. Made some big shots. They stayed with it. They're a chippy group, and we liked their team. They did good things. I was proud of our guys. They've been a resilient group. We stayed with it. We didn't put that game away like we would have liked to, and I credit Judson that way for the way they fought, the shots they made. But we found ways down the stretch to get out of here with a win and hopefully get some rust out of the system and just get back to playing and competing. It doesn't matter over break what guys are doing, how much time they're in the gym. You're not playing 5-on-5 against college basketball players where it counts. So you just got to jump right back in and probably not think too much about the game. Now it's back. We get that out. It's time to get ready for Crossroads League play.
One of the highlights, and you can just do that, you can gauge that by the amount of views it's had on our Twitter account since Wednesday, was Jason Hubbard's first half dunk on the fast break where he took a dribble and then took off, if not outside of the Crossroads logo, just a step inside, and he ripped the rim off with one hand. You had a pretty good seat for it on your seat on the bench. What was it like to watch him take flight like that? And what type of element does that athleticism that he has and that wingspan that he has add to your team that maybe you didn't have in the past?
Sure. No, he's got an incredible wingspan. He's a great athlete. Obviously, his length and his instincts allow him to shoot the gap a little bit, in the passing lanes. And that was a big-time play. I think that surprised everybody with the way he was able to take off and finish. We want to see him get to the rim and finish at the rim, even with contact, more and more. He's a strong guy. His game will only develop that way in his strength. But obviously when you punch one like that, you put a little life into the gym and into the team, and our guys got excited with it. But he's an athlete that affects both ends of the floor, and we're proud of his development. Love to see him do some more of that, but just continue to affect the game on both ends.
A guy that affected the game down the stretch was Mason Degenkolb. He had a hand in the final 10 points you guys scored, scoring 8 of them and assisting on the other 2 on a pass to James McLeod. He has played really well since the middle of December. What's it been like to watch him kind of get back into a rhythm after a rough start to the season?
Hey, he was out. We talked this. He was out for the maybe close to a month there in the preseason, and it may have slowed his just his instincts and those kind of things. We don't make excuses. He certainly wouldn't. He's just kind of caught stride here as of late. He's a gifted scorer. Nothing has changed there, and we want him making plays for our team. I say the same things about him. He has a really high IQ of the game, and he knows how to compete, and we want to see him make the right plays a whole lot more times than not. He makes good decisions for the most part down the stretch of games. So him finishing the game there, it's kind of the trademark Mason Degenkolb ability. We want him to do it at a high level, and as he does that, it's going to help us to win some tight games.
Today's opponent, the St. Francis Cougars, they've been one of the top teams in the Crossroads League since you got here, a little over 5 years ago now in your 6th season here at Taylor. They lose 3 of their top 5 scorers from a year ago. They lose their leading scorer and leading rebounder and a first-team All-American in Bryce Lindup. They lose an honorable mention in their point guard in Derek Heinen, and they lose the best three-point shooter, in my opinion, in the league from last year in Evan Henry. But they've beaten 6 top 25 teams, so it's a new cast of guys, but they're still doing the same St. Francis things. What makes them so good this year after losing so much talent from a year ago?
Yeah, we have a ton of respect for their program. I mean, it's a program I think since 2010 or 2011 has been, in 3 national finals, and they've they just, Coach Lacrosse does a great job. Their guys are play with an edge. They're very physical, and they're going to come in here. They're always ready to play. They're going to be ready to go when they come in here. And we're excited to compete against them and to match their toughness. That's a major key for us, and it won't change by year with them. That's how they play. So we've got to be a physical group. We've got to like contact. We've got to match their intensity, and I think it's going to be a great game.
We thank head coach Josh Andrews for joining us on the pregame show. This has been the Marion General Hospital pregame show. We're ready to go here from Odell Arena between Taylor and number 19 USF. The Cougars go from right to left in blue with a white and blue checkerboard mark down the side of their uniforms and shorts. They have white numbers on the front, gray numbers on the front and back. High right side, Lotzenheiser, their leading scorer, spins away from Hubbard, shimmying into the paint. We'll talk about his strong development the rest of the year. The rest of the game, Compton straight away, and a moving screen is called by our head official, Shane Skaggs, across from us against USF. That's Jeffrey Reynolds. He is an athletic, long 6'7" pogo stick down low who really likes to tap free throws away to give extra possessions. The Trojans go from left to right. Their normal starting five: Robinson, Degenkolb, Hagelin, Hubbard, and McLeod. Mismatch, Compton, Hagelin. Hagelin trying to abuse him, and Jake traveled with it on the right side block, knowing he had the mismatch with the smaller and very lighter Austin Compton defending him. The starters for USF are Brandon Johnson, a 6'2" freshman guard, Austin Compton, Connor Lotzenheiser, the aforementioned Jeffrey Reynolds, and a three-point specialist, 6'5", Hunter Hollowell. Here's Compton, guarded by Robinson, to the left side circle, and Lotzenheiser, hand off to Hollowell. Degenkolb defends, Hollowell drives, scooping right-hand shot was missed. He gets his own rebound, and then McLeod got him on the hand on a putback. First on James, first one against the Trojans, and Hollowell will go to the line for two. On the season, Hollowell has attempted now just 38 two-point shots. He actually has he's actually been a better three-point shooter than a two-point shooter this season. And he makes the first free throw for our first scoring. To very light applause from a very strong USF crowd here this afternoon. Hollowell, a 71% free throw shooter. He makes both. And still light applause here for the Hollowell free throws. So the Trojans down 2-0. They traveled with it on their opening possession to Hagelin, who holds up top. Robinson, high left side, around the Hagelin right side screen. Maneuvering in up top to Degenkolb and near sideline to Hubbard. Right block Hagelin, defense help comes. McLeod drives baseline left, and then James dribbled off of his foot right when Johnson came to guard him. 2 possessions and 2 turnovers for Taylor to start. Here against number 19, USF. The Trojans led by 6th-year head coach Josh Andrews, Chad Lacrosse in his 9th season leading the St. Francis men's basketball program. They were the national runners-up a year ago to Conference Pro Indiana Wesleyan, who Taylor will play on Tuesday. Backing down Reynolds over Hagelin, might have gotten the shot, might have gotten the hand, and they'll say Jake got Reynolds on the face. The foul was called by our secondary official, David George. First one on Hagelin, second one against Taylor, and so Reynolds will go to the line for 2, where he's shooting 71% in his freshman season. And the first one will be long off the back iron. Now just 10 of 15 from the stripe. This to make it a 3-0 USF lead. Front rim off, missed both. A rare, unsuccessful trip for Jeffrey Reynolds, who, as we mentioned, was a 71% free throw shooter coming in. So Taylor still an opportunity to tie or take the lead here with a 2-point shot, or to take the lead with a 3-point basket. Robinson left sideline as Taylor goes from left to right in white. St. Francis defends in blue. Hagelin, a little hesitation. He'll bank it in and tie the game at 2 with our first field goal of the afternoon. He had the big man Reynolds defending. A little head fake got Mason space, and he banked it in. Hollowell near sideline, guarded by the shorter Degenkolb. Quickly to Lotzenheiser. He'll fake a 3 and drive with the left hand. Throws it up with a right hand and rattles it home. Lotzenheiser has seen his production increase exponentially with the graduation of both the first-team All-American Bryce Linnup and the honorable mention All-American in Derek Heinen. And Hagelin almost had an opportunity to tie it on a good little pass from Robinson, but the ball just rolled off the rim. Compton accelerates, goes in. His shot was altered and then fumbled out of bounds by Hubbard. Behind the back pass to Compton by Compton, and Reynolds lays it in for a deuce. Taylor had an opportunity to go the other way, but they couldn't haul in the rebound as it went off of Hubbard's fingertips. And now Taylor finds themselves down by 2 possessions. For the first time today, they trail by 4. Near sideline arc, Degenkolb blows right around Lotzenheiser and put him on the deck with a strong right-hand move by the All-American Mason Degenkolb. So it's Mason Degenkolb 4, St. Francis 6. Lotzenheiser down looking for his first points. He goes up, cannot get the roll, and he's fouled on the take. That's the 3rd foul against Taylor here, and we've played 2 minutes and 59 seconds. It's on Jason Hubbard, his first and the 3rd against Taylor. So Lotzenheiser to the line for 2, where he is 76% this season. The first one. Perfect. 3 in a row for him. Or 3 for him, I should say. The Trojans going to a smaller lineup. Hubbard out, Hagelin out. So Crow for 3-point shooting and Pena in for length and rebounding. Trying to combat with the springy Jeffrey Reynolds. Lotzenheiser makes both. He has tied Taylor's output by himself. Lotzenheiser with 4, and USF leads once again by 4, 8-4. In a packed house, it's very eerily quiet here this afternoon. Robinson high left side to make it a 1-point game. That 3-point shot was short. Crow elevated in the air but couldn't tap it away as Hollowell has the rebound. Compton to the trailing Hollowell. Quick release, a deep three from straight on, and that's what he does. A 48% three-point shooter, and the Trojans did not get out on him. Hollowell with 5 on his first three-point shot, and Taylor needs a 30-second timeout. They're down by 7, 11-4. Here with 16:39 to go in the first half.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
So the Hunter Hollowell three-point basket, his first one of the afternoon, has given USF a 7-point lead at 11-4. Pena spinning and almost traveled with it. No changes to the Taylor 5, no changes to USF's 5. Robinson with the taller Reynolds defending him. We'll see if Ryan wants to take him one-on-one. He'll wave Pena away, he'll drive, hesitate, fade away off the glass, and he banks it in off the uppermost part of the backboard. A 2 for Robinson. And there's some perspiration on the floor, so they'll bring in the guy that was on his phone that needs to come and mop up the floor. If you're the mop man, you cannot be on the phone, kids. You got to be ready to mop up that sweat at any moment. And our man over there was texting, or tweeting, or Facebooking, or Instagramming, Snapchatting. Did I cover all the social media things? I think I did. If I missed one, I apologize. So a driving bucket by Robinson. He and Mason Degenkolb have combined for all 6 of Taylor's points. Ryan with 2, Mason with 4. Johnson hands off to Lotzenheiser, then Hollowell. Driving on the shorter, Degenkolb goes in. Pena was there for the to draw the charge, and he did. He saw Hollowell driving from a mile away, and a good job by CJ to set those heels outside the restricted area. And that's a driving foul and a charge on Hollowell. The big man's first, and the second one against St. Francis. Just 4 minutes into this opening half, Taylor 3 of 5 from the floor. Same thing for USF. The big difference right now, they've made more free throws than the Trojans, 4, and one more three-point basket. Taylor has not made a 3. Compton giving Robinson an unusual amount of space. Ryan trying to make him pay. That one skips off the rim. McLeod taps it out, and Pena hustles after it to get the rebound for Taylor. Good hustle by the Trojans' second leading rebounder, C.J. Pena. Degenkolb drives into a crowd. Compton got his arm out to Robinson. And again, Compton's now laboring there, favoring his left leg. Reynolds switches to him on a screen, and Robinson gets it back from Degenkolb. Crossing over to the right-hand step-through move, gathering in, and Reynolds blocked the Ryan Robinson shot. Compton's knee has been healed as he races up the front court, dishing it weak side to Johnson. Step through to Reynolds. Taylor looks for a travel that won't come. Reynolds bangs with Pena and banks it in. 4 for Jeffrey Reynolds, and USF goes back in front by 7, 13-6. Pena to the high right side, and McLeod a handoff to Degenkolb. Crow around a screen. Trying to run Hollowell off the Pena screen. He'll have to pull up and give it off to Degenkolb. Near sideline, McLeod, a shoulder shake to Pena. Hands off back to McLeod to CJ. 10 to shoot for the Trojans, down by 7. Robinson with Compton guarding again, giving him a lot of uncharacteristic space. Reynolds guards Robinson again. Ryan drives right by him. He's tripped on the way to the rim. Taylor cannot get a foul call as Ryan went spilling to the floor, and he's sitting down on the purple baseline looking up for an explanation that won't come. Ryan perplexed as he went storming down the lane and got his legs out from underneath of him, looking for a tripping call that will not come. 14:48 to go here in the opening half. Number 19, USF leads Taylor by 7, 13-6, here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland. and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
A 4 of 6 start from the floor for St. Francis. Taylor 3 of 8 from the field. St. Francis has knocked down their only 3 by their three-point shooter, Hunter Hollowell. Taylor is 0 of 2 from three-point range. Robinson has missed both. Chandler White in for St. Francis, along with David Miller and Antoine Cushingbury. The only 2 starters remain out there, Lotzenheiser and Hollowell for St. Francis. No changes to the Taylor 5. Cushingbury defended by Pena. Lotzenheiser gives it back to him around the arc to Hollowell. Driving on the shorter Degenkolb, stops at 8 feet into the paint. Going in as Miller. He'll bank it in as Robinson got him on a cheap foul. Miller banks it in. The big man just barreled it there, and Ryan got him on the arm. First one on Ryan. 4th one against Taylor here in the half. Jason Hubbard returns for the Trojans. He replaces McLeod. And Ryan Robinson out. He's replaced by Vincent Miranda. First time we've seen the sophomore this afternoon. So a 15-6 lead, and Miller cannot get the bounce. USF came in 70% from the line. They are now 4 of 7. Here to start as Miller cannot complete the and one. Not a good free throw shooter at 56%. Degenkolb with 4 of Taylor's first 6. Hubbard to the far sideline and Miranda, defended by Cushingbury, and an off-ball foul whistled against David Miller of St. Francis as he collided and hooked the cutting C.J. Pena of Taylor. So we played almost 6 minutes, and the 2 teams have combined for more fouls than minutes played. A slow-moving start, but USF is leading Taylor by a game-high 9 right now. Pena, mismatch, Cushingbury. Ovin missed it. CJ got his rebound and put it in. CJ, a big mismatch there with the 5'8 Cushingbury. And Taylor 2 within 7. Down 15-8. Lotzenheiser around the Chandler White screen. Crow switches to him. And now Hubbard will guard Chandler White near side. White fumbled the ball away, got it back on the baseline left. Outside the arc, Cushingbury around the screen, trying to lose Miranda, goes up, and then Pena recycles the shot out of bounds. So CJ abuses Cushingbury offensively on the other end and then beats his shot like a drum out of bounds on the defensive end. Hollowell to the top of the key, and White slips, gives it near side to Cushingbury with 7 to shoot. Lotzenheiser contested 3 over Hubbard, rainbows in off the back of the rim. Lotzenheiser coming off of a 1 for 6 three-point shooting performance in their loss to Lincoln Christian on Sunday. He knocks his first one down here, and he's got 7. And Taylor down by 10 for the first time today, down 18-8. Their offense has been stuck in the mud. They're just 4 of 10 of the Trojans from the floor. USF is 6 of 9. Cushingbury against the taller Miranda. Pena gives it back to Vincent. Drives and kicks. Degenkolb trying to shake away from Lotzenheiser. Contested fadeaway jump shot, free throw line, good. Cushingbury fell down with some more perspiration on the floor. 6 points for Degenkolb, and Taylor back to within 8, down to 18-10. 7 minutes into the opening half. White from straight away to the right side of the floor, and Lotzenheiser. Hubbard switches, or now Crow switches. Lotzenheiser spins, hook shot again for another deuce. Lotzenheiser with 9. He is putting on a show here in the opening half. He is yet to miss a shot. And a foul near the timeline against Cushingbury as Miranda was trying to get away from him. His first, 4th against St. Francis as subs come in for both teams. Compton back in for USF to replace Lotzenheiser, who's been carrying the weight offensively for the Cougars the last couple of minutes. And Hagelin comes in. He replaces Pena for Taylor. So it's Crow, Hubbard, Miranda, Degenkolb, and Hagelin for the Trojans. Compton, Cushingbury, Miller, White, and Hollowell for USF as Degenkolb drives and floats in another 2. He's got 8, and Taylor trails by that margin. 20-12 with 12.5 minutes to go first half. Hollowell around the White screen for USF, trying to get it into White, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Chandler White as he had Degenkolb pinned behind but then tossed him to the parquet floor. White, the transfer from the University of Toledo in his 3rd season at St. Francis, has been slowed by some back ailments that started to creep up a couple of years ago, but he is still a low down low at 6'3" and 210. Taylor from left to right and White, they've trailed the entire way, except when they tied it at 2. Degenkolb's been the offense here. Hubbard, left side circle, first 3 try today, front rim, and won't get the bounce. Rebounded down low by Compton for USF. Hubbard waits for him outside the arc. Compton, a shifty guard, weaving and cutting and scooping and scoring. Compton weaving around everybody and threw it in with his right hand with his back to the glass. So Taylor again back down by 10. They have not been able to shake this 10 or 8 point deficit the last few moments. Right side screen set by Hagelin. Miller switches on Degenkolb. Degenkolb called for it back but couldn't get it. Crow near side, hands off back from Hagelin. Degenkolb up top, fakes a three, trying to drive on the taller Miller. Cushingbury tied up Degenkolb, but he ripped the ball cleanly away. 8 to shoot, Crow drives, right-handed runner, perfect. First bucket for Evan Crow, and once again, Taylor finds themselves back down by 8 with 11:20 remaining in the opening stanza. USF, the 19th ranked team in the land. Hollowell, parking lot range three, good again. Hollowell's range is way out there, and he has hit 2 deep three balls today. He is 2 of 2 from three-point range, and Taylor down by a game-high 11. At 25-14, 9 minutes gone here in the opening stanza. Miller guards Hagelin, who passes off to Miranda. Elevator screen, Crow trying to get the three ball back. No, off the right side of the rim. It's both Miller and Compton both there, and finally Miller relents and gets the ball away from Compton. Or I should say Compton relents and gives the ball to Miller. Cushingbury around a white screen. He wants a three-ball try, and he hits it from the high left side. Cushingbury just now 3 of 8 from three-point range. USF is perfect from downtown at 4 of 4. And a timeout taken by the Trojans, a full timeout, as they trail by 14, 28-14, with 10:38 to go here in the opening half against number 19, St. Francis.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
St. Francis, a good three-point shooting team at 38%, but they are unconscious right now. They're a perfect 4 of 4 from behind the arc. 2 from Hollowell, 1 from Cushingbury, who came in just 2 of 7 from behind the arc, and 1 from Lotzenheiser. USF has only missed 3 shots all afternoon. They're 10 of 13. Taylor 7 of 15. And the Trojans find themselves down by a game-high 14 points right now as Ryan Robinson and C.J. Pena have returned for the Trojans. Lotzenheiser back in there for St. Francis. He replaces the hot shooting Hollowell. Robinson to the mismatch of a century against Hagelin. Jets one to the skipping C.J. Pena. Bang, bang, bang. 3-ball for Pena on a fine from Hagelin. So the Trojans get a 3-ball out of the timeout to draw themselves to within 11. Cushingbury given space by Pena. White mismatch against the smaller Robinson. Pena trying to help. Cushingbury back to White, spinning away, almost lost it, whips one away to the front row. He threw it right between Lotzenheiser and Compton as White tried to exploit the weight mismatch against Taylor's guard Ryan Robinson. And now returners and starters return in for USF. White, who has been a starter throughout his career at St. Francis, exits along with David Miller. Starters Brandon Johnson, the guard, and Jeffrey Reynolds, the pogo stick forward, back down low for USF. So Cushingbury, the only non-starter out there right now for St. Francis. He is taking the spot of Hollowell. Compton defends Miranda for Taylor. This is the Trojans going from left to right, down by 11. Compton, mismatch, trying to defend Hagelin, skipping again. Miranda tried to touch it down to Pena, who he thought was cutting on the baseline. Instead, CJ had stayed in the corner, ready to fire another one from 3. 4th first-half turnover by the Trojans. That matches USF's total. And neither team has been able to score a point off the turnover just yet. But Taylor's being outscored by 9 right now behind the arc. They've been outscored by 4 at the free throw line. Cushingbury weaving now off to the cutting Lotzenheiser, trying to get away from the defending Crow. Compton outside the arc. Miranda defends. Compton wanted to spin back to his left hand. Got it. Free throw line. 9 to shoot. Cushingbury waving for the Reynolds screen with 7, with 6. Hagelin guards Cushingbury with 5. Thought about a 3 now. Reynolds mismatch over the shoulder. Robinson fades away, and it will bounce in as Hagelin got it and fouled him on the waist on a bad foul to be taken by the senior, Jake Hagelin. And that's Jake's second, so now he's going to have to go to the bench for the final 9:13 of the first half. And the Trojans, a double whammy there as Reynolds got the bounce off the back of the rim. He's got 6. An opportunity to put Taylor down by 14 again. Nope, that one was bad off the back of the rim. Reynolds 0 of 3. He came in as a good free throw shooter at 10 of 14 on the year, but he's 0 for 3 this afternoon. And Taylor's still down by double figures, trailing by 13. They've trailed by as many as 14. Still plenty of time left here in the opening half with 9 minutes if Taylor can make a run here. Robinson with just 2 points. To Pena with 5, back to Robinson. Compton will defend on a switch. 7 to shoot. Robinson trying to get going from 3. That one was long on a rainbow try. And Compton has it. Robinson 0 of 3 from downtown. Miranda waits for Compton at the arc. No look dish, right sideline Cushingbury as USF goes from right to left in blue. They lead by 13. Lotznizer out to Compton. Fakes a 3-1 dribble to set himself. Steps to his right and hits a 3. And USF is now 5 of 5 from behind the arc. Compton makes his first one. And that puts Taylor down by a game-high 16 with 8:20 to go before halftime. The Trojans just 1 of 6 from three-point range. USF, an uncharacteristic white-hot 6 of 6 from downtown. Crow trying to get a 3 back. Nope, front rim. Miranda soars in and gets the rebound. Cushingbury dives in, and Cushingbury called for the foul. Second on Cushingbury, his second. 6th one against St. Francis. Degenkolb back in for Taylor to replace Miranda. Cushingbury exits. He's replaced by the hot shooting Hunter Hollowell. And Hubbard comes in. He'll be the one guarding the Trojan, guarding one of those perimeter players for TU. He replaces Crow. Taylor down by 16, the biggest deficit they've had here all afternoon. And St. Francis 5 of 5 from outside. McLeod trying to get away from the smaller Johnson, and nice individual move by James McLeod to back his man down and just worked him right in. Taylor down by 14 on McLeod's first bucket of the afternoon. Hollowell around the screen trying to turn this corner. Knocked out of his hands by Degenkolb. It will stay here with USF as Hollowell, as we mentioned, who came in taking just 37 two-point shots the entire year, has really tried to exploit the height mismatch with the 5 inches shorter Degenkolb defending. We've seen Hollowell put on the deck a lot more than we've seen the entire year. Inbounds to Reynolds, back to Compton, near sideline Lotzenheiser for USF with Hubbard defending him. 7:42 to go. Lotznizer drives out to Hollowell. Mismatch with Robinson on the shorter defender. Far sideline, Lotznizer, a rainbow try is missed. There's the first miss from three-point range, and a good contest there by Hubbard. First miss from 3 by St. Francis. Degenkolb trying to go end-to-end, got into traffic, spins. He finds the cutting McLeod, who goes in and lays it in as he altered his body around a defender. Look at McLeod soar and score as he wove through USF defenders. That was a pretty move by James McLeod. And that's the 7th foul against St. Francis, and the second one against one of their top rebounders in Jeffrey Reynolds, their most athletic big man, and a timeout taken by St. Francis. So back-to-back buckets by James McLeod have given some life back to the Taylor Trojans across from us. They find themselves down by 12 with a free throw coming from James McLeod, a 30-second timeout taken by St. Francis.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
This is the first free throw for anyone from Taylor today. It'll be James McLeod to complete the and one. Just cannot get as it rolls off the rim. But 4 in a row for McLeod has brought Taylor to within 12. The Trojans shooting 50% from the floor. USF is at 75%. They're 5 of 6 from 3. Jalen Mall in for USF. First time we've seen Mall this afternoon. Trying to get away from Robinson. Also back in for USF is David Miller. Here's Brandon Johnson, defended by McLeod. Johnson drives, kicks to Lotzenheiser. Hubbard guards him with 6 to shoot. Lotzenheiser trying to do something with 4. Down the lane he goes for a right-hand shot as no one was there covering in the paint. Lotzenheiser with 11 here in the first half, and he did that with the shot clock dwindling down below 5. Taylor back down by 14. They've trailed by double digits here in the last few moments. And a discontinued dribble called here against Taylor's Ryan Robinson, as he had that ball up near his shoulder, and the ball caught his shoulder. And that was the discontinued dribble. Jalen Mole, a 6-foot freshman from Blackhawk Christian High School up in Fort Wayne, a player that USF is very excited about. He holds right here. Robinson guards him around a screen, and then he hands off to Hollowell. Pulls up from the top of the key, but couldn't get a three off as Degenkolb collapsed. Johnson in the corner against McLeod, storming in. Here comes Johnson wildly in, threw it off the glass, and then McLeod rips it away, and a foul is called against Brandon Johnson. No, it's a held ball, and it'll go back to Taylor as Johnson just accelerated in a step and a half and got into the paint beautifully. But he threw the shot up wildly off the glass, and then he and McLeod tussled for the rebound. Taylor from left to right. In white, USF defends man-to-man. They are in blue. Taylor with the ball down by 14 with 6:10 to go in the first half. Degenkolb with 8 of the first 21 for Taylor. Lotznizer defends. Robinson trying to get going from 3 again. That one is off target right. McLeod with a one-handed rebound as Johnson held on to his left hand. McLeod gathered in a rebound with his right. And the Trojans already in the 1-1 bonus, so a 1-1 upcoming for James McLeod. They've got it on David Miller, and that is Miller. That's his third. First one from McLeod, swish. He has scored Taylor's last 5. Chandler White in for St. Francis to replace Miller, who does have 2 personal fouls, So Miranda back in for Taylor to replace Hubbard. So there's 2 fouls on Miller, 2 for Cushenberry, and 2 for Reynolds. Those are the only ones in foul trouble for St. Francis. McLeod made the first. He swishes the both, and he's got 6. Last 6 from James McLeod. And Taylor to within 12. With 6 minutes to go here in the opening half. Lotznizer near side against Miranda. Lotznizer lost the ball and got it back with a left-hand dribble. Far sideline to Mull. Robinson guards him. Mull almost fell down outside the arc. It goes to Lotznizer, guarded by Miranda. 10 to shoot. Lotznizer pulls up for a contested there over Miranda. That one barely grazes the net. It goes out of bounds. Great one-on-one defense there by Vincent Miranda against a man who is outweighing him by a considerable amount of pounds. 25 pounds is what Lotznizer has on Miranda, and Miranda's dad and brother to our left give him a nice standing ovation. After hitting their first 5 threes, USF has missed the last 2 in a row. An opportunity for Taylor to make it a 10 or 9-point deficit here, with 5:20 to go before halftime. Ryan Robinson near sideline for Taylor, defended by Mull around a left side Pena screen. And now White will guard Robinson. Passing to McLeod, mid-post right. Pena against the smaller Mull, goes up, and Mull blocked Pena's shot, and here comes USF on the break. White running it all the way to the free throw line. Trailing is Hollowell for his third 3. Got it perfectly, and he skips to the other end of the floor. Hollowell with 11 to match the Lotzenheiser output, and Hollowell 3 for 3 from distance. He is an excellent three-point shooter, much improved from a year ago by 8 percentage points. When he was 41% last year, he's at 48 this year. Robinson trying to answer. That one off target right. And Ryan 0 of 5 from three-point range. And Taylor down by 15, trying to get a spark here, and they need to get it defensively. As everything falling for USF, they're 6 of 8 from downtown. Hollowell against the shorter Miranda, gives off to Lotzenheiser, guarded by Degenkolb. Lotzenheiser almost lost the dribble again, but gets it back. Mull trying to drive, kicks to Lotzenheiser, high right side with 9, with 8. Lotzenheiser drives, stops, wraps it around McLeod for a deuce. Lotzenheiser with 13 first-half points. He and Hollowell have combined to outscore Taylor by themselves, 24-23. And a quick 5-0 run here by USF pushes their lead back up to 17 for the first time tonight. Lotzenheiser guards Degenkolb. Around 3 defenders. His shot swatted away by White and Johnson. Lotzenheiser with the miss up the near side of the floor. Pena guards him. Spinning back to his left hand outside the arc. The pass goes to Johnson. Mull between the legs and dribbles and kicks. Lotzenheiser fakes. Stepping through. Mull up top right down the lane for a right-hand floater, and that one was too easy. First bucket for Jalen Mull. Taylor down by a game-high 19. A 7-0 burst here by St. Francis forces Taylor to take their second and final 30-second timeout here in the game this afternoon.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
So Taylor out of the 30-second timeout. They've had to use 3 timeouts here in the first half. They find themselves down by a game-high 19. Trying to stop this 7-0 run right now by St. Francis. Miranda back in for Taylor along with Hubbard and Crow. They join McLeod and Degenkolb. McLeod's been good here in the first half. Goes up through traffic. Misses the shot as he was pivoting down low. Hollowell looks for an explanation, and the foul is on him. And that's the second one on Hollowell, the 9th one against USF here in the first half. And Hollowell gets an explanation that he likes. And McLeod will go back to the line. He's the only Trojan that's been to the line this afternoon. He's 2 of 3. 1 dribble and a fire and a make. 3 in a row for McLeod with 7 first-half points coming off of his just 2-point performance in Wednesday's win over Judson. So Hollowell sent to the bench with the 2 personals. Chandler White back in to spell him. That's a good sign for Taylor. Hollowell 3 for 3 from distance for 11, with 11 points. McLeod has made 4 free throws in a row. He and Degenkolb the only ones. They've tied for the team high lead with 8 points, and that stops that long 7-0 run by USF. Taylor trailing 42-25, 3:13 to go in the first half. USF, the 19th ranked team in the country. They, like Taylor, in a 6-way tie for second place in the league. Lotzenheiser against Hubbard. Left-hand drive, got to the left block, cut off by 2 defenders. He'll find the cutting Compton baseline left who lays it in from the weak side. 7 for Austin Compton, and USF is once again back in front by 19. Crow's 3 is missed off the front rim. Taylor just 1 of 10 from 3-point distance. USF 6 of 8. Jalen Mull pitches back out to Compton with Degenkolb defending. Far sideline, Johnson. Miranda guards him. They look White's way on the right block, but couldn't get it to him. Mull drives and kicks. Lotzenheiser chased off the arc by Hubbard. Throws up a little shot from the league logo. Missed. Hits off the floor and gathered in by Jason Hubbard of Taylor. Degenkolb runs the point. Has not scored in a long while. Has 8 so far for Taylor in the first half. Hubbard drives against the shorter Johnson. Left-hand layup. Nicely done through traffic by Jason Hubbard over traffic. Jason's first 2, and Taylor down by 17. 2:13 to go here in the opening half. Taylor could really use some defensive stops strung together right here. Johnson around the screen. Crow guards. Left-hand shot, right-hand shot blocked by Evan Crow, the Trojans' 3rd leading shot blocker. Degenkolb up the point, up the middle, left-hand side of the lane. Trip pivoting, down low to the cutting Hubbard who lays it in. 4 for Hubbard, and 4 in a row for Hubbard. So a defensive stop in the bucket. 1:45 left to go first half. Miranda pounces on the walking Jalen Mull, who calls a timeout just across the timeline. It will be, what? A timeout of 30? A 30 timeout. So we've had 5 timeouts used here in this first half with USF leading 44-29. We'll be right back after this commercial break on the Trojan Sports Network.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at TaylorCampusStore.com.
Conlon Martin, the 6-foot sophomore out of Fort Wayne, has entered for the first time today. He replaces Lotzenheiser. He's out there with Jalen Mull, Antoine Cushingbury, Chandler White, and Austin Compton. Cushingbury's got to be careful playing with the 2 fouls. Floats one to the corner, and Compton stepped out of bounds on the near side. So a turnover follows the defensive stop by Taylor the last time down the floor. And now Taylor will try to continue to chip away at this deficit with 1:34 to go in the first half, down by a 44-29 margin, a 15-point margin. They trail by as many as 19. Degenkolb, left side, drives right around Martin to the rim. Reverse layup, no good, but Chandler White might have just picked up his 2nd personal foul. That'll be the 10th one against USF in the half, and it is on White. So it's now White, Cushingbury, Reynolds, Miller, and Hollowell all have 2 personal fouls to St. Francis, and that could come back to hurt USF when we get to the second half. Degenkolb makes the first free throw. After Taylor missed their first free throw of the afternoon, they have made 5 in a row. Mason trying to get to 10 points. Got it. Taylor down by 13, 44-31 with a minute 15 remaining in the first half against number 19 USF. McLeod guards White up top. Near sideline to Mull, trying to shake away from Miranda. He got into the paint, stepped through, right-hand hook, no good, and Miranda gets the rebound. Mull looks for a call that won't come. Degenkolb, transition, three ball, got it from the right side, and then he turns around and glares and has some words for Conlon Martin. 13 for Degenkolb, 5 in a row, in the blink of an eye. Taylor has made it a blowout situation, down to just a 10-point deficit. That three ball in transition has re-energized the Taylor crowd as Cushingbury is defended by Crow high right side. Out to Compton. Hubbard lost him, and Compton can't make him pay, and he misses a three, and now Taylor with an opportunity to make it a single-point deficit for the first time in an eternity. 4 seconds between game and shot clock. Taylor from left to right, trailing 44-34. It's been 3 misses and a turnover for USF the last 4 times down the floor, not in that order. Cushingbury guards Miranda up top. Degenkolb, left side, McLeod screen, looks back at the clock with 6 to shoot. Now 5 with 4. Here's Degenkolb driving around traffic. Circus layup, good! 5 in a row for Degenkolb. Taylor to within 8. Compton almost turns over Mull. An awful possession to end the half for USF. They had 4 seconds and an opportunity to get a shot off, but a dreadful play in the backcourt by the USF guards. And after looking dead in the water for most of this first half, Taylor turns the game on its ear and turns a 19-point deficit using an 11-0 run to close the half, and they go into the break trailing by 8 against number 19 USF here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965 when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at TaylorCampusStore.com.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits. What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greeks Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greeks Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name-brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com. An 11-0 close for Taylor to end that first half has brought them to within 8 as we start our second half of play. USF with the ball first. They go from left to right in blue. And they attack the basket to our right. Lotzenizer around a Reynolds screen. He had a game high. He had 13 points in that opening half. Chased off the arc by Hubbard, right wing. Lotzenizer keeps the dribble, spins back to a scooping right hand. It's missed. Reynolds trailed it. He couldn't put it back in, and Hubbard cleans the glass. Nicely done there by the Trojans. They have really ramped up the defensive pressure after falling behind by 19 towards the end of the opening half. Degenkolb finished the first half with a flurry, scoring 5 in a row. Robinson just 1 of 8 in that first half. Rainbow try here, so no hesitation. After he went just 1 of 8 in the first half, he's 1 for 1 to start the second. And it's now a 13-0 Taylor run, and the ball thrown out of bounds by St. Francis, and Taylor's to within 6. After trying to put this one to bed early, were the Cougars going ahead by 19 and making their first 5 tries from 3. They have looked discombobulated here the last few moments, dating back to the end of the first half. Degenkolb, Robinson, corner, 3 ball, off the top of the glass. McLeod gets it and doesn't finish the basket, but he's fouled by Brandon Johnson as McLeod is putting on one of his best performances of the year. First on... So it will be the first on Brandon Johnson, excuse me. And McLeod to the line for 2. 4 of 5. And now 4 of 6 as that one hits the front rim short. He had made 4 in a row. James re-velcros those new gray Nike sneakers that his mom got him for Christmas. Ready to fire on the second. And that one spins off the back of the rim. After making 4 in a row, James misses both here. And it remains a 6-point Taylor deficit. The scoreboard says that Taylor is down 44-0, and that would be impressive. Instead, they are down 44-38. Minute 15 into this second half. Lotzenizer floats it over Hollowell's head. Will it get out of bounds? Degenkolb will scoop it up. The guy mopping the sweat's got to get back. And how about the Euro step for Mason Degenkolb? And now he's throwing glares at Hollowell. It's a 4-point Taylor lead or Taylor deficit. They're on a 15-0 run, dating back to the end of the first half. Lotzenizer left-hand dribble. Hollowell wants to shake away from Degenkolb, who's been a thorn in his side all afternoon. They go down to Reynolds, trying to back down. Hegelen going in over Hegelen, short, missed again, and Hubbard with another rebound. Taylor with an opportunity to make it a 2 or 1 point deficit right here. Robinson thought about a three. Hagelin, right block. He backs down the smaller Reynolds. Crab dribble, spins back, up and under, trying to get free. Jake's got a two. Nice ovation from mom and dad across from us. It's a 17-0 Taylor run, and they're to within two. Just underway here, second half. Hollowell right in his grill is Degenkolb. Compton around the arc. It goes to Johnson, left side. He'll attack with a right hand, has yet to score. Compton holds on the right side with Robinson giving him space outside the arc. Compton picks it up, floats it to Reynolds, right block with 9 to shoot. Reynolds fumbles with the ball to the cutting. Compton lays it off the glass and no good. Here's a tie-up between Johnson and McLeod, and the ball will go back to Taylor as Johnson and McLeod exchange pleasantries once again. An ovation, and rightfully so, for the Taylor Trojans. They were down by 19 points, 42-23. They've outscored USF 19-2 since. And it's 44-42. Taylor head coach Josh Andrews not happy, thinking there should have been a foul called against Brandon Johnson for tying up McLeod's arm. Taylor with an opportunity to tie or take their first lead of the afternoon here, down by a deuce. Robinson skips to the hot-handed Degenkolb. He's got a team-high 17. He wants to take Reynolds off the bounce to tie. Reynolds smacks that shot away, and White will pick it up off the floor. Just the second miss by Degenkolb today. White goes barreling in, uncontrolled, but Hubbard couldn't get away, and he barrels into Jason Hubbard and draws the block on Hub. Second one on the spectacular freshman Jason Hubbard. First one against Taylor in the half, as White looked like he made up his mind to go right to the rim. With a clear path right there at the free throw, or at the midcourt stripe, He'll take the inbounds pass here and gather it in near the volleyball line. USF has not scored in a long while. They've seen their 19-point lead down to 2. Lott's not trying to change it. He still can't get it. Reynolds had it. It was knocked away, went off the rim, and McLeod was able to haul it in. Another opportunity to tie or take the lead. Hubbard thought about a long two. Robinson will spin it to the right side, and McLeod. Far sideline, Degenkolb. They want to exploit the mismatch. Does Taylor with Hagelin and Reynolds. Hagelin backs him in slowly to tie the game. Hit the shot short. 3 Cougars are there, and they snatch the rebound away from Hagelin. Still a 44-42 lead for USF. They have not scored in a long, long while. Compton to the right block will bounce to White. Left sideline to their leading scorer, Lotzenizer, at a team-high 13 in the first half. He'll go to White. Mismatch against Degenkolb. McLeod comes in. Ball knocked free. James dives on the floor and gives it off to Degenkolb. A little 4-on-4. Degenkolb attacks, stops, out to Robinson for the first lead of the day, and Ryan Robinson cashes in on a 3-point basket. He had missed his first 5. He hits his 6th, and Taylor pouring it on. They lead by 1. Reynolds trying to go the other way. Compton with Hubbard right on Compton, spins. He can't get away, throws up a prayer and misses it, but they get Hubbard for taking away his airspace. The third one on Hubbard, and that's a tough one for Taylor to take. Their best on-ball defender. But the Trojans, after trailing by 19, have completely erased the deficit, and they lead 45-44. Just underway here in the second half.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
A 20-0 run for Taylor, and a 22-2 run since falling behind by a game-high tying 19. Taylor has outscored USF 9-0 to start the second half, but Compton will go to the line for 2 after Hubbard picked up his 3rd foul. He's got to go to the bench, and Evan Crow will replace him. Compton's first free throw, perfect. First scoring comes at 15:51 for USF, and it ties the game at 45. The second one for Compton. Good free throw shooter. He makes both. A 71% free throw man. 9 points for Compton. And it puts Taylor back down by 1, but they've outscored USF 22-4 since falling behind by 19. Mismatch, Hagelin against the smaller Compton, and Hagelin can't get the shot to roll. Bat tapped out, tapped into the air. White near side. It goes off of Crow's arm and out of bounds as he tried to poke the ball away from White here on the near sideline. That's the second or third time we've seen Compton get switched onto Hagelin down low, and Jake has struggled against the much smaller Compton down there today with a mouse in the house. USF head coach Chad Lacrosse talking things over with head official Shane Skaggs across from us. Shane, one of the top officials in the Crossroads League. As Compton, after the 2 free throws, gives off to the right side circle and White. Around a screen, picks up the dribble, back to Miller, mid-post right. Step back, fadeaway just inside the free throw line is good for David Miller. 4 for him. Time is called. The possession arrow was turned off. We'll have to turn that back on. That's important. And after Taylor went on a 20-0 run to take a 1-point lead at 45-44, USF has answered with 2 Compton free throws and a jumper by Miller to go on a 4-0 burst of their own to go back in front by 3. Just 5 minutes into this second half, Degenkolb drives, bumped by David Miller, and there's his 3rd personal foul. Second one against St. Francis. The 3rd one against Miller. As Robinson will get it in baseline left, shot clock to 20. Top of the key, Hagelin off to McLeod. A handoff to Robinson. Here's Degenkolb left side, guarded by Lotzenhauser, trying to get to the baseline, tiptoeing his way in. Underneath the hoop, a reverse layup. Well done, Mason Degenkolb with 19. And Taylor back to within 1, down 48-47. Hollowell off the bench, drives. Degenkolb almost got the tie up. Instead, he's able to kick it out to Compton. Miller left block against Hagelin. Right hand back down. Spins over Hagelin short. McLeod with a box out and a right hand rebound, but they'll get McLeod for the foul, and that is to the displeasure of the Taylor fans sitting around us and across from us. He and White were doing battle down low, and then at the last moment, White went veering off to his left, and they'll say that McLeod pushed him away after James had his hand tied up with White down low. Compton exits for USF. Cushingbury in for the first time for USF. They have the ball in a 1-point lead, 48-47. Miller cut off by Hagelin. Good defense by the big man down low. Lotzenhauser with Crow guarding him. Lotzenhauser to the rim, throws up a prayer, missed, rebounded down low, and Crow comes out of much traffic with it. Taylor with an opportunity to get their second lead. Robinson right around Hollowell to the cup for a right-hand finish. 9 for Robinson, and Taylor back in front by 1. Hollowell thought about a 3. Degenkolb chases him in. To Miller, right block against Hagelin. Help comes from Robinson up top to Cushingbury. Cushingbury around the arc. Between the circles, Lotzenhauser deep outside to Hollowell. An excellent 3-point shooter. White will drive from the corner, goes in, and they'll call either Degenkolb or McLeod for the foul as White got a head of steam coming from the left corner. David George on the call. That's the 3rd one against James McLeod, Taylor's other best on-ball defender. McLeod disagrees vehemently, shaking that head back and forth in disbelief. But it looks like he will come out in place of Miranda and Pena. White to the line for 2. Not a good free throw shooter, to 66%. And that one too strong off the back iron. He has yet to score today, and he's yet to take a shot, has Chandler White. But he has 5 rebounds and a dime. McLeod and Hagelin exit to an ice ovation from the Trojan faithful. CJ Pena and Miranda back in. So the Trojans' 2 best on-ball defenders, Jason Hubbard and James McLeod, both settled on the bench right now with 3 personal fouls. White missed the first free throw long. He swishes the second one for his first point today to tie the game at 49. Taylor went on a 20-0 run to take a 1-point lead and a 22-2 burst to erase the 19-point deficit from the first half. Miranda picks up the ball, bouncing to Degenkolb. Game knotted at 49. Compton guards Mason. Left-hand dribble. Fake, and they get Mason for the travel as he got caught down in the paint. Just the 6th turnover by Taylor this afternoon. First one here of the second half. 6.5 minutes into this second stanza. Game even at 49 apiece. Both teams shooting over 50%. USF, after making 6 of their 9 threes in the first half, have yet to take one here in the second half. White against the smaller Robinson, calling for help out to Cushingbury, who looked like he traveled out to Compton, right wing, wide open 3 ball. Nope, that one bounces up off the glass and did not hit the basket support, even though it came dangerously close. Compton has missed 2 threes in a row. Miranda drives, kicks. Degenkolb thought about a 3. Now he attacks to the left hand, got into the paint, bouncing weak side to Pena. Fakes to his right, trying to find help. He'll throw it over the defense to Miranda to the corner and Degenkolb. He'll blow by. White puts him on the floor and lays it in with the right hand. Mason Degenkolb putting on a show. 21 points, and Taylor leads by 2. Back and forth we go. Hollowell, he gets a push-off, and Degenkolb has been ignited. 3rd on Hollowell. He'll be exiled to the bench. No, he'll stay. It'll be Miller who has to go to the bench with his 3 personal fouls. And Johnson now, nope, Hollowell's going to stick it out here with the 3 personals. It's Chandler White who will go to the bench. I am confused by Chad. I keep thinking I know who Chad Lacrosse is going to sub in, and I don't know. That's probably for the best. But he is wearing some fantastic brown leather shoes today, and they look awesome on Coach Lacrosse. Taylor up by 2, 51-49. They've outscored USF by 8 here in the second half. Now Crow spins on Hollowell. His shot around the defense, no good. Then it's Crow who rips it away, and a held ball will send it back to USF. But look at Crow go in and rip it out of Reynolds' hands. And just before Evans spun away with the ball in his grasp, the whistle was blown and killed the play. Just 1 field goal here in the second half for USF. Cushingbury kicks. Compton thought about a 3. He's missed 2 in a row. He'll drive on Hubbard, who's got to be careful with the 3 personals. Compton to Reynolds, wheeling in, and Reynolds missed a bunny. Ball knocked around, and Pena gathers it in. There is a lid on that rim to our right for USF, just like there was one for Taylor through most of the first half. 2-point lead. Taylor is not led by more than this 2 right now. Degenkolb, a deep 3. Oh, he got it from the parking lot. Second one for Degenkolb. He's got 24, and Taylor leads by 5, 54-49. This looks like freshman year Degenkolb. Cushingbury in. Miranda mauled him and get the basket and the foul. And now a technical foul against Cushingbury for having words with Vincent Miranda. So Cushingbury will go to the line on his first bucket of the afternoon, but then he gets a technical foul. Oh, no, they're going to get on Miranda. Or who is it on? They pointed to Cushingbury. Who's the technical foul on? They're moving everybody back to leave Cushingbury at the line like it's on Taylor. Nope, it's on Cushingbury, number 20, against USF. So he had a beautiful drive to the rim and got an and 1, but then he gives it away for saying something in the direction of Miranda that official David George did not like and teed him up quickly. So put Degenkolb to the line, who's an excellent free throw shooter at 88%. These are the technical free throws. The first one hits the front rim and goes. 25 for Degenkolb. 2 off of a season high. And the second one, yep, got them both. And that's just a bad play for the freshman Cushingbury to take out of Indianapolis. A state champion last year at Warren Central High School. His high school teammate, whose name escapes right now, it's David Bell. He's one of the prized high school football recruits in the country. He's a stellar basketball player as well. A fine wide receiver. Cushingbury to complete the and 1 after the technical free throws by Degenkolb, and he knocks it down. So 3 for Cushingbury. And what could have made it a 3-point game or made it a 2-point game, we're back to a 4-point lead, or 4-point Taylor lead, because of the Cushingbury technical foul. 56-52 the Taylor lead. Degenkolb's been white hot here today, 10 of 12 from the floor, 2 of 2 from 3. He's got a mismatch with Reynolds. Pena comes to set the screen, now he backs away. Degenkolb will do it himself. Left-hand drive, jump stop, got Reynolds in the air, goes up, ball stripped, and Hollowell comes away with it. Degenkolb hit the ground hard, and he's slow to get back up. Lots of eyes are open, 3 in front of his own bench is long, and the ball weak side tapped away, and Johnson hauls it in. Lotzner has missed 3 threes in a row. Compton spins and whirls out. Johnson looking for his first points and gets it with a 3 in front of his own bench. Johnson came in just 4 of 12 from 3-point range, hits one here. That's the first made 3 of the second half for USF, and it draws them to within 1, down 56-55. 10:45 to go second half, and a fun one brewing here from Odell Arena. Taylor trying to knock off the 19th-ranked Cougars of St. Francis, and doing things like that by a 3-ball by Vincent Miranda will help the cause immensely. A 59-55 Taylor lead on Miranda's first bucket. Johnson after the 3, drives cut off. Hubbard's got to get out to Lotzenheiser, who finally makes a 3 after missing 3 in a row. First bucket of the second half for Lotzenheiser. He's got 16, and that brings USF back to within 1, down 59-58. Hubbard will bounce to Miranda, right side circle, defended by Compton. Left side Pena screen, couldn't get the 3 to go as Reynolds came out to guard. Here's Degenkolb right around Lotzenheiser with these, and a left-hand layup, and a scream and a flex after drawing the foul is from Mason Degenkolb. 28 for him. That's a new season high for the former All-American. McLeod back in for Taylor, replacing Hubbard. And Degenkolb to complete the and one. He's 4 of 4 from the line today, a game-high 26 points. And now 27 as he swishes the free throw. Or make it 29, excuse me. Robinson back in to spell Degenkolb, who's been a man on a mission today for Taylor. Timeout taken by USF. The Trojans have outscored St. Francis 26-14 here in the second half, and they have a game-high tying lead of 4 after trailing by 19 late in this first half. Here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Mason Degenkolb getting a much-needed breather on the bench right now for the Trojans. He's got a game-high 29. It'd be his first 30-point performance of the year if he can get one more point. He's already got a season high. The Trojans have Robinson, Crow, McLeod, Pena, and Miranda. McLeod's got to be careful. He's playing with 3 personal fouls. It's Johnson, Hollowell, Compton, Reynolds, and Lotzenheiser for USF. Compton against Robinson, got to the mid-post right, trying to back him down. Crafty as Compton goes up. He'll just have the shot roll off, and the lid continues to remain closed on the basket to our right. Taylor leading by 4 after the and one by Mason Degenkolb. They've led by no more than this today. Compton guards Robinson. Now Reynolds off to Crow. A 3 over Lotzenheiser. Nope. Pena tracking, thrown off the rim, loose on the floor. Crow dives for it, it's still loose. Pena gets it. As he reaches behind his head, he'll somehow pass it between 2 men and find Miranda. Somehow Pena got that ball to Miranda that only Pena might know how. Another opportunity, and Taylor will slow it down. Pena, left side circle, inside the arc, holds. Back to Robinson, near side with 10 to shoot. Crow can't get it to him. Robinson near side, a 3 over Lotzenheiser. Tried to bank it, couldn't get it. McLeod taps it off the noggin of Reynolds, and he'll stay here with Taylor as Compton is slow to get up off the floor after maybe hitting his head. He looks to be okay, and that's a good sign for USF. Cushingbury back in to replace Johnson for the St. Francis Cougars. He's out there with Hollowell, Compton, Reynolds, and Lotzenheiser. 8:55 to go second half. Taylor with the ball and a 4-point lead. They've led by no more than 4 today. Robinson trying to change that to the corner. Miranda, 3 on the way. No, but Crow will track it. Almost tapped it in. It's tapped up, and Lotzenheiser has it for USF. Here come the Cougars the other way. Lotzenheiser leading scorer. He almost traveled with it. Miranda almost stole it away. Back to Reynolds. A bullet one to the corner to the small Cushionbury. Taylor had 2 cracks getting his steal and heading the other way. Hollowell against the shorter Robinson. Now Pena guards him to Reynolds. A mismatch on Robinson to the cutting Compton in the paint. Fades away. Throws a prayer in off balance with a right hand. Compton was falling away and got the shot to go with the right hand. A tough one down low for Austin Compton. He's got 11, and Taylor's lead back down to 2 with 8:14 remaining here in the second half. Taylor from right to left in white. Pena set up for the handoff, then went for the screen. He's able to get the ball back after fumbling with it. Pena picks the bounce, now off to Robinson with Cushingbury defending. Now Reynolds will guard Robinson with 6. Ryan with 5, with 4, drives through 2 defenders, tried to throw it up, couldn't get there. And here comes USF the other way on a bad take by Robinson with a shot clock dwindling. Cushingbury to the trailing Hollowell. He'll put on the deck against Pena, down low to Reynolds, wide open for an easy right-hand shot. First bucket of the second half for Reynolds, and that ties our game at 62. Robinson will spin away. Timeout comes. Lacrosse and the USF bench all rise to their feet, including members of the bench who have been on the bench for the entire game. They'll say as Robinson spun away, he lost the ball. They'll say the timeout came. Lacrosse not happy with it as he argues his case with official David George. Full timeout taken by the Trojans as our game tied at 62 with 7:39 remaining here in the second half on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965 when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Because of the amount of timeouts we had in that first half, both teams limited here in the second half. Taylor just took one of their 3 remaining full timeouts. They've got 2 left. St. Francis has 3 full timeouts left. Robinson out along with Pena. Degenkolb and Hagelin back in for Taylor. No changes to the 5 on the floor for USF when we went to break. Game tied at 62. Reynolds jumps the pass intended for Hagelin from Miranda. Reynolds slow to get back up. We'll see if Taylor can attack. They cannot on the quick 5-on-4 opportunity. Hagelin, mismatch on Compton. Hollowell comes to help. No-look dish. Crow for the lead. Back. That one long off the back iron. And the only one there is Compton for the rebound for USF. Stops is cut off by Crow. Reynolds mid-post left. The freshman against the senior Hagelin. Up and under move for the lead. Got it. Crafty move by Jeffrey Reynolds as he got Hagelin in the air on a pump fake. 6-0 burst after the Degenkolb and 1 for USF. Gives them the lead back at 64-62 with 7 minutes remaining here in our second half. Hagelin holds it over his head. Off to Crow, high right side. Left-hand dribble once and twice. He'll deal off to Miranda, near sideline to McLeod. 10 to shoot, wants to take Hollowell off the bounce, spins right in, but he threw it in too hard with a finger roll, and that would have tied the game at 64. Lotzenhauser the other way against Crow, who hammers him. He'll miss the shot, but a good foul by Crow to make sure Lotzenhauser didn't get a chance to get a clean look on a fast break as Taylor was slow to get back. First foul on Crow, 6th one against Taylor here in the half. And a tough one there. McLeod blew right past Hollowell, but just threw the finger roll up too strong as it glanced too hard off the glass and didn't even get a piece of the rim. Here's Lotzenhauser to the line. 2 for 2 this afternoon, his first trip here the second half. First one for their leading scorer, hits the front rim and bounces off. Crow out, Hubbard in. Jason's got to be careful. He's playing with 3 personal fouls. Hagelin out there with 2, and McLeod out there with 3 for TU. Degenkolb and Miranda round out the Taylor 5. Second one from Lotzenhauser, rolls it in to give USF a 3-point lead at 65-62. A team that's just 2-6 on the road this year is USF. Taylor has led by as many as 4. They've trailed by as many as 19. That was back in the first half before using a 20-0 run to take their first lead earlier in the half. McLeod pulls up, free throw line, Jay, perfect. Nice feed from Degenkolb, and McLeod in double figures. Just the second Trojan to get there, and that draws Taylor to within 1. with 6:15 to go, second half. Hubbard guards Compton out near the volleyball line. Lotzenheiser fumbles with it again. McLeod will guard him. Lotzenheiser trying to get into his body, spinning away in the paint. Caught in traffic. Ball knocked away. Miranda, he's off to the races. Compton trailing. Miranda, circus layup, and Taylor leads. Look at Miranda go from end to end. A steal as Compton fumbled away on a pass intended by Lotzenheiser. Cushingbury around a screen. Out to Compton, almost fumbled it away. But Compton able to haul it back in. Left-hand cross, got in on Hubbard, goes up. No good, but Jason Hubbard called for the foul, and that's Hubbard's fourth. He's going to have to go to the bench, you would assume, with 5:42 to go in the second half. A tough one for the freshman to take. Remember, he had that just vicious dunk on Wednesday night against Judson, the 7th foul against Taylor here in the second half. Compton to the line for 2. Hits the first to tie us at 66. So Robinson back in to replace Hubbard. And the second one here from Compton. He is 3 of 3 from the line today. And now 4 of 4. He's got 18 points, or 13 points, excuse me. USF would love if he had 18. And Taylor with the ball down 1, 67 to 66, 5:33 to go. Robinson drives out to the far sideline, Degenkolb. He got a much-needed breather on the bench after giving Taylor that 4-point lead. Shimmy, shake, and drive to the corner, and Robinson a 3-ball. Got it from the corner. Degenkolb got hit in the eye as Robinson buries a 3-ball from the left corner. Second triple for Robinson today. He's got 12 on a dismal shooting day for 13 in white. And Degenkolb still holding that right eye. He takes a look at David George, shakes his head, and he'll jog back to the other end as Degenkolb blitzed to the corner and then threw that one from the baseline. That's Mason's 7th assist tonight. That ties a career high. And he is still laboring, wiping something from that right eye on the other end. 2-point Taylor lead after the Robinson triple from the left corner. Lotzenheiser against McLeod, Taylor defending man-to-man. Compton thought about a 3, behind the back dribble to his left hand, spins back to his right, a fadeaway, little teardrop over Miranda, no good. Tapped away by Reynolds, and McLeod is able to get it, but they'll get McLeod for a push-off, and that's a bad call. Taylor head coach Josh Andrews not happy. The Trojan fans around us not happy, as it looked like from our vantage point that McLeod and Compton collided. That's McLeod's 4th foul, and a 1-and-1 opportunity here for USF. But more importantly for Taylor, that's the 8th one against them in the half and the 4th one against McLeod. Their other, with Hubbard already on the bench with 4, their other best on-ball defender. Compton's first of the 1-and-1. Nope. And as Rasheed Wallace famously said, the ball don't lie. Taylor with the ball in a 2-point lead, 69 to 67. McLeod moved that arm out, and that probably is what got him caught. Degenkolb fakes, moving to his left. He's got a mismatch with Reynolds. Robinson near sideline to Hagelin against the smaller Lotzenheiser. Hagelin, crab dribble to Hollowell to the cutting McLeod, and a reach-in foul is called right before McLeod almost lost the ball away. That's on Austin Compton, his second. The 6th one against St. Francis in the half. 9 to shoot. Taylor with the ball in a 2-point advantage at 69 to 67. Robinson will get it in as the shot clock resets to 20. Up top, Hagelin hands off back to Robinson. Cushingbury defending. Robinson crossing over to his right hand. Outside Degenkolb, a 3-ball to Rise, and that one was way over everything. First miss from 3 for Degenkolb today. USF another opportunity. Hollowell for the lead, a 3-ball, and he airballs that one. Compton tried to save it, but when he took off, he stepped on the baseline. That is Hollowell's first miss from 3, and he had been hit nothing but net on his first 3 tries from behind the arc. That one missed everything. So Degenkolb and Hollowell, who have hit some big shots today, both miss badly on back-to-back 3-point tries. And once again, Taylor with another opportunity to build on this 2-point advantage with 4:12 remaining in the second half. Miranda will bounce right side circle. Robinson jab stepping for space. Cushionberry closes. Robinson, a 3-ball. Front rim short. Miranda knifes in. He'll save it off the glass as Miranda came in and knocked the ball away from Compton and almost saved it back into the middle of the floor. It careened off the back of the glass. It's ruled out of bounds, and USF will take a full timeout. They have 2 remaining. Taylor has 2 remaining, and we've got 3:59 to go in a good one here from Odell Arena. Taylor leads number 19, USF, 69 to 67 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
.359 to go second half after St. Francis hit 6 of their 9 threes in the first half. They made their first 5 in a row since then. They are just 3 of 9 since behind the arc. Out of the timeout by St. Francis, less than 4 to go here in the second half. They've got the ball trailing by 2. They led by as many as 19 a couple different times back there in the first half. Lots of nuts down the right sideline against McLeod, missed it. Then Reynolds tried to put back with a dunk, and he couldn't. There's traffic between him and the rim. Man, Reynolds is bouncy at 6'7". He has got some springs underneath those blue sneakers. But yet another opportunity for Taylor to build on this 2-point lead. They've never led by more than 4. A 3-point shot would change that here. Robinson pointing where he wants Hagelin to move. He'll bounce it to him, and now Hagelin dishes off to Degenkolb. A right around Reynolds, free throw line, jump shot, pull up, rolls in for Mason Degenkolb. 31 for Degenkolb. First 30-point game in the All-American season here as a junior. And Taylor back in front by 4. Compton in, look for a foul. He missed the shot terribly. And here comes Taylor the other way after Compton careened with Miranda in the paint. Both sides looking for a foul on the other man, and a play on is called. Compton looking for the foul and not the bucket. Taylor with the ball, leading by 4. 2:55 to go second half. A big possession here as Taylor tries to build on the 4-point clearance. Reynolds against Degenkolb, who'll maneuver to the baseline. 6 to shoot, Miranda crossing over Compton, lost it. Hagelin couldn't pick it up in time, still loose on the floor, and they'll say that Miranda dove in and knocked Compton to the floor. Second one on Miranda, 9th one against Taylor here in the second half, and we walk to the other end for a 1-and-1 free throw opportunity. The ball came free. Hagelin was just a hair away from being able to pick it up off the floor, and then it looked like Reynolds was the one to jump on it for USF and swish and swing the ball over roll the ball on the floor, I should say, over to Compton. Second one on Miranda, 9th one against Taylor. They're checking to see if there's blood on Hagelin's body. It's just a big scrape on the back of the right calf. So now Hagelin and Lotzenheiser both have to go to the respective athletic trainer to get cleaned up. So I'll give us the time here to catch our breath. Taylor looked dead in the water back in the first half, trailing by 19 points multiple times as St. Francis went off to hit their first 5 3 balls of the afternoon. So Hagelin does not need to get cleaned up as they huddle around head coach Josh Andrews and assistant coaches Kyle Stidham and Quinn McDowell. It's Lotzenheiser, the one who was bleeding, and they have fixed the cut. A 1-and-1 opportunity here for Austin Compton, who is 4 of 5 from the line today, missing his last one on what Taylor thought was a phantom call. The first one here is missed again, and Miranda soars up for the rebound. So back-to-back misses there by Compton, who's normally a reliable free throw shooter. 4th rebound for Miranda today. Taylor with the ball in a 4-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go second half. High right side, Degenkolb around the Hagelin screen. Reynolds switches, and then Degenkolb gets it back between the circles. Down the right side of the lane, right-hand bounce. Re-engages around Reynolds, but his left-hand shot was just missed, and Lotzenheiser has the rebound for St. Francis. Left sideline, Compton. Miranda waits for him. Back to Lotzenheiser on the right side of the floor. Fakes to his right, goes to his left, goes in through contact, blocked by McLeod, and a held ball, and it's going to go Taylor's way. Look at McLeod playing with 4 fouls, and he went right in and got a big rejection for the Trojans. And again, St. Francis remains to be ice cold here in this second half. They're below 50% shooting for the first time all afternoon right now. 2:02 to go second half. And again, Taylor with the ball and a 4-point advantage. They give off to Degenkolb, who now deals to Miranda on the near side of the floor. Taylor going from right to left and White. Cushingbury denies. Robinson a clean catch. Miranda drives to the right side of the floor. Baseline right, no look dish. McLeod with 10. Mid-range jumper. That's the sweet spot, but he just missed it near short. No one there for a rebound for Taylor. It's rebounded by Reynolds. Cushingbury up to the right side of the floor. With 97 seconds left in regulation, USF with the rock down by 4. Compton left sideline, Miranda defends. Compton baseline left, almost lost the dribble, got it back. Well outside the arc, Cushingbury with 13. Right hand bounce, got into the paint. Stop, pivoting, floats it back outside to Lotzenheiser. Now Odell Arena ignites with life. Lotzenheiser lost it, Miranda stole it. He's still hustling for it. They dive on the floor, it's still loose. Hollowell knocked it away, but they'll say he just got the timeout with 1 second left on the shot clock, but now a huddle comes. Miranda's father and brother stand on the bleachers to our left. Mom has her hands over her mouth in disbelief. They huddle up to our referees, not the Mirandas. A timeout for St. Francis with just 1 second left on the shot clock. 1 second. No possession happened. Both Miranda and Degenkolb had headfirst dives with Hollowell. A full timeout. They'll inbound the ball on the far sideline near the Taylor bench, in between the Taylor bench and the scores table, with what should be 1 second left on the shot clock. The scores table trying to get the attention of official David George. The shot clock right now says 30. It should say 1 second, and there will be 1 second left on the shot clock for St. Francis. So they're going to have to heave the ball to the other end or just concede the shot clock violation. We'll come back with an exciting minute 13 to go second half with 71-67. The Taylor lead over number 19 St. Francis, a team that they have not defeated in Josh Andrews' tenure as head coach.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
So 1 second to shoot. Lotzenheiser, after Hollowell just got a timeout before the shot clock expired, after a fantastic defensive possession where Miranda poked it free. So what has Chad Lacrosse decided to do here, drawing it up with only 1 second on the shot clock? Lotzenheiser will get it in front of the Taylor bench, right in front of assistant coaches Kyle Stidham and Quinn McDowell. There's McLeod, who beats the inbounds pass out of bounds like a drum! So now we're going to do it all again after McLeod just beat the snot out of that inbounds opportunity from Lotzenheiser. So let's do it all again. I mean, McLeod touched it, so the clock should have run. I hear a familiar voice of Vivian Aiken from the stands. So now Lotzenheiser will try to get it in again. Gets it in, far side, Reynolds turns. His shot's recycled by Degenkolb, and it's a shot clock violation against USF. 1:08 to go, second half. 5 seconds, man, a lot of time went off the clock there on that inbounds play. Cushingbury guards Robinson in the backcourt. McLeod there for a screen, and Robinson runs him right into there. Lacrosse not happy with it across from us for USF. Good news for them as Cushingbury pops right back to his feet after running into the stonewalled screen of McLeod. 52 seconds left. Cushingbury fouls Robinson. That puts Taylor in the 1-and-1. Fourth one against Cushingbury. Remember, he had the technical foul earlier in this second half that would have made it a, let me look back at my notes, it could have given them a 2-point deficit. Instead, the two fouls, the technical foul negated that. 1-and-1 Robinson. First one, yeah. 13 for Ryan. He's pretty good. Pretty good free throw shooter, 88%. 5-point Taylor lead. Robinson would love to make it 6. And he does. 14 for Ryan, who's had a dismal day shooting. 6-point Taylor lead, their biggest of the afternoon with 50 seconds left. One timeout left for USF if they won it. They also have the possession arrow. Compton angles in and flips home a right-hand shot. 15 for Compton, 8 here in the second half. He's played really well for USF. And Taylor's lead down to 4. Robinson, far sideline. 42 seconds left. Cushingberry tries to draw a foul. He dives, and no foul will be called. Cushingberry right there with Robinson. 34 seconds left. Game clock and shot clock about 14 seconds apart. Robinson, that dribble alive, right hand. Now 12 to shoot. Picks it up, does Ryan. Left side high, Degenkolb. Lotzenizer defends with 8 with 7. 6 to shoot, Degenkolb pulls up, free throw line, jumper, got it! Mason Degenkolb got it! And Taylor leads by 6 with 16 seconds left. Lotzenizer a 3 to make it a one-possession game, and he got it from the left side high. Lotzenizer makes his third 3 of the afternoon, and with 12.3 seconds left, Taylor's lead is 3 as Lotzenizer heaved up one from the other side of the arena, and he made it. Timeout on the floor. We come back with Taylor clinging to a 3-point lead.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Mason Degenkolb has only missed 4 shots all day. He's got 33 points. That's a new season high on 13 of 17 shooting. And James McLeod has his first career double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. A big 3 in transition by Lotzenizer makes it a one-possession game, making the Taylor lead 3. Reynolds will guard the inbounds pass from McLeod, who can run the baseline. Shot clock turned off. Lotzenizer poked the ball away as they try to get it to Degenkolb. Degenkolb turns to David George, our official on the near side, trying to see and trying to appeal for a call saying that Lotzenizer was on his back. Almost a second one off the clock, and now Taylor will take their final timeout. Each team is out of timeouts with 11.5 seconds left to go here in our second half. Taylor clinging to a 75-72 lead after Degenkolb hit a big pull-up jumper from the free throw line. Lotzenizer came back down and hit a transition 3 from way outside on the left side circle to make it a 3-point game here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
11.5 seconds left. Each team out of timeouts. And Robinson will get it in on the other end of the floor. He can't run the baseline this time. He's got it again. Does to Degenkolb, and they fouled him. Did Jalen Mull before the ball got into Degenkolb. 8th one against USF today. And some big free throws here for one of the best, if not the second, for the best free throw shooter on the Trojans roster. Hollowell comes in. He is a dead-eye three-point shooter, so no surprise to see him back out there for St. Francis. He's been held scoreless here in the second half. He's only taken 1 shot. Degenkolb to the line for a 1-and-1. Taylor leading by 3. The first one. Back rim, no good. Rebounded by Reynolds. Clock at 9. At 8, USF can tie. Down by 3. Lotzenizer around a screen to tie it from straight on. He did not get it. Rebounded by Degenkolb, loose with 1. It rolls out of bounds with 1/10 of a second left, and USF will deal it in. Taylor ahead by 3. The best hope you have here for USF is now David George and Shane Skaggs, 2 of our officials, huddle. USF will use this as an impromptu timeout. One of the assistant coaches for St. Francis will huddle up and he'll draw a play here. The old rule is if the catch and shoot is 0.5, if I remember the rule right from the world of the National Basketball Association. Hubbard will check in for Taylor. No surprise there. There was a scrum for it after Lotzenheiser missed his 3 coming around a screen by Reynolds. That would have tied our game at 75 with only a couple of seconds, if that, left. And so we'll see if they put any more time back on the clock. Right now it's 1/10 of a second, which isn't enough to catch and shoot for a 3. What you'd have to do is throw the ball to the rim and tap it in. They're going to put 0.5 of a second back to make it 0.6, and that is enough to catch and get the ball away. 0.6. Compton will get it in on the baseline right, and Hubbard will guard the inbounds pass. Taylor leading by 3. Compton smacks the ball. They try to find Lotzenheiser. Still trying to get it in. He throws it in up top. Holloway catches, throws up a prayer. No good. And for the first time in Josh Andrews' tenure at Taylor University, the Trojans beat St. Francis. Taylor erases a 19-point first half deficit, and they defeat number 19 St. Francis by a final of 75-72 here today inside Odell Arena. We'll come back to wrap it up on the Ivanhoe's postgame show after this here on the Trojans Sports Network.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel. Boy, do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greeks' specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greeks Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greeks Pizzeria, it's our taste.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100 all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
Hi, welcome back inside Odell Arena. It's been fun. What's today's date? The 5th of January. It's not a bad way to start the 5th day of January, the 5th day of the new year, huh? The Taylor men's basketball team snaps a 10-game losing streak to St. Francis, the 19th ranked team in the country, and is now just one of 2. Now there's only one team that Taylor head coach Josh Andrews has not been able to defeat in his time here at Taylor. They will get to play that team on Tuesday when they head across the county to Indiana Wesleyan. That's enough for after today, but the 24-hour rule is in effect, so let's take a look back at this one. The big story was the 22-2 and inside of that 22-2 run, the 20-0 run by Taylor to erase what was once a 19-point deficit at 42-23. Taylor called a 30-second timeout. That 19-point run was on the back of 19-point lead was on the back of a 7-0 run by St. Francis. The Trojans went on that 22-2 burst to go from being down 42-23 to lead 45-44 to just start off the second half. They scored the first 9 points of the second half. They continue to go back and forth, back and forth. The Trojans led by as many as 6. That was late in the second half. They didn't lead by more than 4 throughout most of that second half as Taylor outscored USF 39-28 after halftime. We had 5 ties and 7 lead changes. And we'll talk to the head coach when we come back from this commercial break as Taylor knocks off number 19 St. Francis here this afternoon using that 22-2 run to erase a 19-point deficit to start the second half.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back here inside Odell Arena. Rick Johnston now joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews. So let's go back to the end of the first half. You're down 19.
Yeah.
And you guys then go off on a very conventional, very normal 22-2 run and take a 1-point lead. What did you see out of your team after being down 19? They could have packed it in and said, hey, we're just going to, we can't beat St. Francis. We've lost to them, 10 times in a row. They could have packed it in, but they didn't. They made it, they make it an 8-point deficit at halftime. Sure. What was it like to watch them just claw back like they did and go on that 22-2 run?
Yeah, I don't know if I've been as proud of a team as I am of that effort. Maybe in a long time. I can't remember. Just to be as flat as we seemed, inexplicable. It wasn't for lack of desire. It just wasn't. It just wasn't clicking early, and they were making everything, and they seemed faster and more alert, and it just took a while to get going. But I'm telling you, once we got going, saw some fire. Mason Degenkolb really led the charge there late first half. He just willed us to a game. All we wanted was to be in a game at halftime, and then you could see it in their eyes at halftime. These guys are ready to go, and most all they're doing. Very little coaching there, them doing their thing.
Mason had 33 points today. He had 18 in the second half. He only missed 4 shots on the entire day. He went 13 of 17. He was 2 of 3 from 3. He also tied a career-high 7 assists. I mean, I think today was the best he's looked since his freshman year when he was an All-American.
Well, but we didn't beat that team his freshman year. So that type, he's done that before, and he's got that in him. At this time of the year, with adversity the group's felt and just seeking identity and keep trying to grow this group, for him to be that tough on this day. And they're a very good team. It was a terrific display of his maturity and of his ability. And, man, I'm really proud of him. It was very good.
Ryan couldn't throw it in the ocean from a boat in the first half. He was 2 points, 1 of 8, 0 of 5 from 3. Then he scores 12 points on 4 of 7 shooting in the second half. He takes that big 3 to give you guys the lead or tie it when he had missed 5 in a row. I mean, this guy he's some other type of guy, right?
Yeah, we got to have we got to maintain confidence and continue to have poise. The ball is in those two guys' hands a lot. It's in Vince Miranda's hands a lot, and they got to continue to make really good decisions. I thought they made a bunch of good decisions. We made the game a little tighter late than we wanted it to be. I thought we had a couple really clean, open three-point looks, had a layup or two at the rim that didn't go. They could probably say the same, but our guys just kept clawing back and just kept fighting and or held a lead just by toughness. It was a pretty remarkable display on their part.
I want to talk about the defensive effort there in the second half, because there was that one scrum where they get the timeout with a second left on the shot clock, but that was the second or third time that Vincent had put his hand in there, and then we talk about how athletic and fast he is. He gets one step. I mean, the kid's off to the races like a racehorse.
Huge. We had several monstrous plays that way. Keeping the ball, a loose ball, I championed that in the locker room and celebrated with the guys. I don't know how many guys we had hit the deck today. It was a bunch. We had guys hungry for the ball. And that's the level of fight and tenacity that's in these guys. And if we'll own that throughout the remaining 12 games, I think we got a chance to come out on the winning side on a good number of them.
I know it's going to get kind of pushed underneath by people. They just look at the box score or the headline, because obviously Mason deserves all the headlines here, 33 points. But James McLeod had his first career double-double today, 10 points and 10 boards. He had 4 offensive boards. He had 8 points in the first half. I mean, he had one. He missed that layup here, but he was taking it to the rim with reckless abandon today. What's it like to see his growth?
He warred. Yeah, he just warred. I thought him and Vince Miranda, the two sophomores, both were that's what those two guys do. They bring the war. They bring the fight that way, and guys play off of it. They're energy catalysts for us. And, how about James and just being aggressive, coming up with some big plays, big rebounds down the stretch. Fun group to coach for that last 25 minutes or so.
Were you afraid he was going to hit you in the head when he beat that inbounds pass out of bounds? It was right in front of you.
He could do whatever he wants at that point. If he's going to fight like that, then it's his. So, proud of him.
Last thing, you guys came close your first year to beating these guys in overtime here on this floor. You've taken a lot of really bad losses to them. What was it like to be in the locker room with those guys to finally knock off St. Francis?
Sure. No, I give Coach LaCrosse and his staff and their program a ton of credit. They are a premier blue blood at this level with their resume in the last 10 years, and he's a terrific coach. Their guys are always ready when they play us, and their guys are always physical, and they play with an edge. So for us to beat them at any time shows the growth in our program and the toughness of the group that I've got in my locker room, and I'm privileged to coach them. So big win for our guys.
Last thing, how'd you keep Hunter Hollowell to only 2 shots and he missed both of them there? I mean, I know the last one was a desperation heave at the horn to try to tie it, but
guys just they took ownership of it. They really did. They fought, and he showed us some stuff that he did, there in the first half. And he's a terrific player. When he's hot, they're hard to beat, and that's what the first half looked like. So, credit our guys getting the job done.
Well, it doesn't get any easier. You got to go to you beat the national runners-up today. You got to go beat the guys that beat them on Tuesday at Indiana Wesleyan.
And I tell you, these guys don't want it easier. So we're excited about that. We're looking forward to Tuesday night, and these guys are going to be edgy and we're ready to go.
It'll be fun. You are now 10-8. You've won 6 in a row. You're now 4-2 in the league, and no worse than still a tie for second place.
Yeah, really proud of them. Thanks, Rick.
Congrats.
Appreciate it. Yep, thank you much.
That's Josh Andrews, the head coach. We'll back to wrap it up right after this.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Welcome back for the final time here on the Ivanhoe's postgame show. Taylor snaps a 10-game losing streak to St. Francis as they knock off the number 19 St. Francis Cougars here this afternoon. And the Trojans improved to 10-8 on the year. They've won 6 games in a row. And after losing their first 4 of the year, they have now won 10 of their last 14. Yes. Do the math in my head there really quick. Yes. They won 10 of 14. I'm 95% sure of it. They're now 4-2 in the league. They're now 8-3 here at home. Let's dive into the stats quickly, shall we? The big story, that big 22-2 run. Inside of it was a 20-0 run by Taylor to flip a 19-point first-half deficit to a 45-44 lead as the Trojans scored the first 9 points of the second half, and that really made it a game the rest of the way. Taylor shot 52% from the floor in the second half after USF couldn't miss in the opening 20 minutes when they shot 63% from the floor, 6 of 9 from 3. They shot just 33% from the floor, and they were 3 of 8 from downtown after halftime. Taylor, meanwhile, was 52% from the field in the second half. They were 4 of 11 from 3 after going just 2 of 11 in the opening half, and they were 5 of 8 from the line. The Trojans had 3 in double figures, led by Mason Degenkolb's season-high 33 points, including 18 in the second half. Mason only missed 4 shots all day, 13 of 17, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, 5 of 6 from the line. He tied a career high with 7 assists. Second leading scorer was Taylor's Ryan Robinson, who had 14 points, 12 in the second half, including a clutch 3. It was his first 3 of the day after he missed his first 5 tries from deep. He hit a big 3 that I believe gave Taylor the lead at 45-44 if memory serves. That guy is something else as he gets a much-needed hug from friends and family down to our left. James McLeod finished with 10 points. He's got his first double-double of his career, 10 points and 10 boards, including a team-high 4 offensive rebounds. C.J. Pena and Vincent Miranda each had 5. Miranda's 5 points all came after halftime. Hubbard had 4 points. Hagelin had 2. And Evan Crow had 2 points for Taylor. For USF, they were led by Connor Lotzenheiser, who scored 13 of his 20 points in the first half to lead USF. They had 4 get to double figures. Austin Compton had 15 points, 8 in the second half. Hunter Hollowell had 11, all in the first half. He was 3 of 4 from behind, 3 of 4 from the floor, 3 of 3 from behind the arc. He missed both of the shots he took after halftime, including the one that would have tied the game at the Horn. Jeffrey Reynolds had 10 points for USF on 5 of 8 shooting. We mentioned Hollowell had 11. Cushing-Burry had 6, Miller had 4. Martin had none, as he played just in the first half. And Jalen Mull had 2 in the first half. Brandon Johnson had 3 on a 3-point basket. USF assisted on 11 of their 26 field goals today. The Trojans on 13 of their 29. Led by Degenkolb's career-high tying 7, Miranda chipped in 4 for the Trojans. That also ties a career high for Miranda. 15 assists for St. Francis on their 26 buckets, 3 apiece for Lotzenheiser and Compton. Taylor had the edge in rebounding against a real scrappy USF team, 33-30. Taylor led by McLeod with 10, and Pena had 6. St. Francis's top rebounder was Austin Compton, their guard, with 9. He had 15, 9, and 3 today in 33 minutes of action. He is a tough ball player. 11 turnovers for St. Francis. The Trojans turned it over 10 times. No one really scored off the turnover today, 3-2 in favor of Taylor. Fast break points, 12-8 in favor of the Trojans. Points in the paint in favor of TU at 44-32. Second chance points is with St. Francis's at 3-0. And the St. Francis bench outscored the Taylor bench 13-12. We had 5 ties and 7 lead changes throughout the contest today, including 4 ties in the second half and 7 lead changes, all in half number 2. Our player of the game, it's the All-American Mason Degenkolb. 33 points on 13 of 17 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3, 5 of 6 from the line, 2 boards, a career-high tying 7 assists in 35 minutes on the floor today to get Taylor's first win over St. Francis in Taylor head coach Josh Andrews' tenure here. It snaps a 10-game losing streak to the St. Francis Cougars. It gets no easier, as we mentioned. Taylor back on the road on Tuesday when they take on the defending national champions. They defeated USF today. They are the national runners-up from a year ago. They play Indiana Wesleyan on Tuesday, who defeated St. Francis for the national title back in the spring of 2018. Taylor, 6 wins in a row. They're now 10-8 on the year. They are now 4-2 in Crossroads League play, and they are 8-3 here at home. Special thanks to Liam and Emily and Michaela, who worked during the women's game today. We thank them. And we thank you folks for tuning in as well. We hope you enjoyed it. It's been a fun one here inside Odell Arena today as Taylor wins their 6th game in a row. And they'll go for number 7 as they try to defeat Indiana Wesleyan, and that's the only other team after the win over St. Francis today. That's the only other team that Taylor has not defeated with Josh Andrews as their head coach. That'll happen Tuesday night. We're back here on Saturday afternoon for a men's and women's doubleheader with Mount Vernon Nazarene starting at 1 with the women, and the men will tip at 3 next Saturday. We thank you folks for tuning in. Once again, our final score, Taylor defeats number 19 St. Francis, snapping a 10-game losing streak, defeating St. Francis today by a final of 75-72 here on the Trojan Sports Network. For now, we say goodnight from Upland, Indiana.